What's good, YouTube? So we starting something new, man. I'm gonna go ahead basically explain my trucking journey in a sense, right? So I'm coming up on a year now. So how has my experience been within my year of trucking? For the most part, I would say it's pretty much what I expected in the grand scheme of things. Was it harder? Was it easier than what I expected? I would say, like I said, in the grand scheme of things, I kind of understood what I was getting myself into. I think that's kind of the thing that most people don't really prepare for, is like having that mental fortitude to get you through, right? Because you take the job or whatever, right? Trucking can be tough though. I think that's anything in life. It can be tough, and it really depends on how easy you can make it, right? So like I said, I'm coming up on a year. What's the routes that you can take or whatever to get into trucking? That's something I had I was kind of struggling with. I didn't know if I wanted to pay for it out of pocket. I didn't know if I wanted to pay for it out of pocket and go through the quote unquote get paid while you get your CDL kind of programs and stuff like that. But ultimately I ended up going with what do you call it? Hold on. They just sent me another load. But yeah, I ended up going through a work to get your CDL kind of program. I did go through Swift. I started out with Swift. And Swift does get like a bad rep, I would say. The Swift was pretty much straight for me. I ain't gonna act like it was a horrible job or anything like that. It was alright. It wasn't all of that. I ain't gonna complain or nothing like that. There's no video like that to complain about the job, but it was straight. The training aspect, it took me like 4 weeks, and I had to go on the road with a trainer for about another 3 weeks or whatever. Well, like two weeks. So I did this what they call the Top Gun program. It's like a little program where you kind of on the simulator and they teaching you how to back in the yard. It's like a week-long program, and after that you can kind of go out with your trainer. And went out with the mentor guy, and like I said, it was like 2 weeks. It wasn't too bad, and after that you kind of get thrown into the wolves. But my overall trucking career, I did end up finding another job. I did leave Swift, and I was there for like 6 to 7 months. I ain't gonna lie, if you is going in with Swift, I would say the best thing is to get in there, get your experience, and then try to find you another gig, whether that's local, another OTR. But I wouldn't say leave that OTR for another OTR, because most OTR companies, they looking for people that got experience. So it's like you will leave that one and then go to another one that's like then they're doing the same thing, and you're gonna be basically getting paid the same thing. So it's like, don't leave just to leave. Actually leave with a strategy in your mind, with like more strategic and more actually planned out. Because if you just go in, all right, okay, I'm leaving this and I'm finna go here, they ain't no good look. You know what I'm saying? You job hopping and you going to this OTR company. It's like, just try to stick with one company for a decent amount of time, because the chances are that when it is time for you to leave and get you a better gig, you're gonna be able to find you a better gig, because they see that you actually stay with a company, right? And don't get me wrong, the trucking industry, people need drivers and all that. So I'm not gonna act like you ain't gonna be able to find a job. But that's just my personal belief. Like, just stick it out, man. So yeah, like I said, I went, I think it was like a little bit before September when I went to do the program. I decided I didn't want to pay out of pocket, because if I would have paid out of pocket, right, that's $5,000-$10,000 that you got to come out of. You still gonna have to go to one of these same kind of companies getting the same kind of money. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'd rather just start with the company, get the experience, and then go from there, right? And if you do end up leaving Swift early, you is gonna have a fat ass bill that's gonna be coming to you. So be ready for that when they hit the mail or whatever. So that is a real thing. You know, you leave these companies, they not going. They gonna want their money. They gonna find a way to get the money, which they should. I'm not tripping on it. The job I'm at right now, I'm not gonna really disclose it. Ain't like I'm being secretive either, but since I'm about to start making these content kind of videos, not no day in the life in a sense, I just want to kind of just get clarity to certain topics and certain things like that and give my opinion on it. Like I say, I'm coming up on a year. A lot of people don't make it to that year mark. A lot of people, I'm done with this. This ain't it. And rightfully so, you know what I'm saying? Because you come in, you think it's going to be a certain way. And you know you ain't going to make a lot of money, but you figure you're going to make a decent amount of money, which is kind of hard to even wrap your mind around. So, like, my time was swift. Let's just get into that. Okay. So, I did the training in 3 weeks. Got my CDL. Did the little Top Gun program. Finished the Top Gun program. After I finished the Top Gun program, they sent me out with my trainer. I was out there like probably like two weeks, a little bit under 2 weeks. He said I did a great job. And one thing before I continue, like a lot of things that you think mattered, you end up learning later on that shit doesn't really even matter. So, like, oh, I got my CDL on the first try. High five, good for you. I didn't even take. I only was on my trainer for 2 weeks. Ain't nobody really cares. So it's like only during that time period when you graduating and all that, they kind of make it seem as though like that really matters. It doesn't matter at all. Like just being like being real. I'm gonna keep it real. Like it really doesn't matter. Past that, let's just go past that. So yeah, just the point of me saying that is, don't think that you got it all figured out, because there's so much that you don't know, and every day you should come in, you're going to learn something different. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep it real. They say that when you like in the school and as you going, you always going to learn. You is, like, that's a true statement. You always learning something new. Like, I don't act like I got it figured out. Like, some days I can back no problem. Some days I got to pull up. None of that matters. Like, as long as you're not tearing nothing up or anything like that, it doesn't matter. So, you know what I'm saying? Take your time with this and then learn as much as you can. All right, so like I say, went out 2 weeks with my trainer. Boom, they gave me my own truck. All right, cool. I had to come back to the yard, do a little test on the road with the instructor at that terminal. He brought me back. I had to back. All right, cool. Wasn't no problem. Gave me my own truck. First load, sent me to Pennsylvania. Now, with my trainer, we only did, he was like a regional guy. So I didn't go in the mountains and all this. So this is my first time, right? I'm going to PA. All right, boom. And it's like when everything kind of hit. It's like, okay, now I'm really doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so which is like within, I'll say like a month or so, I kind of started getting acclimated and started kind of feeling more comfortable behind the wheel and comfortable backing and stuff like that. But yeah, it took me a little while. Money wise, I know that's like a very important topic that a lot of people want to talk about. I don't like the whole numbers aspect, but I'm gonna keep it real. Like, you starting out and the school sends you, not the school, but the company sends you to school to get your CDL, and they put you in the truck, you're not gonna make no money. And that's a hard concept to like, or not even a hard concept, a hard pill to swallow, I would say, because it's like, damn, I'm coming. Like, they know that you're not. Like, I already had to take 3 weeks to go to school. I already had to take another 3 weeks to get done with all the training and stuff. So that's a month and a half. So if you ain't got no bread put up or no bread stacked up before you coming in this, that's something I say is essential. You know what I'm saying? Something that you should really be focused on before you leave the previous job or you finna get into it. Try to have something, have some bills paid, because you coming in, you're not finna have no bread. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, the highest check I had after 6-7 months that I worked with Swift was probably like $1,000, a little bit over $1,000, right? And average probably like $500 to $800 a week, which is cool. It's not horrible, but it's kind of like when you sacrificing so much of your time, you would think that like, okay, they actually pay you decently, but apparently not. You know what I'm saying? And it's understandable. I never really complained. Only thing I would ever ask for was just like more miles. Like, I was dedicated in the sense, like, I really was like, all right, just give me work. You understand what I'm saying? Like, don't have me out here and I'm not working. I think that was the hardest thing for me to really get comfortable with, because I like, trucking will test your patience. So you coming in, you ready to go. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, no, actually, we don't have nothing right now. You don't have to wait. Or, you know what I'm saying, you go to this receiver and you here for 2-3 hours, you know what I'm saying, to get loaded, and you go here to the shit. You know, it's like, it's a lot. It's a lot that comes with it. So that's what I feel like people, when they say take your time, that's what they be meaning. Like, just take your time, because you rushing, you're not gonna get none of the stuff done that you think that you're gonna get done. So it's just like, take your time. Understand you are gonna be waiting the whole 34 reset, which is like if you already in trucking, you understand what that is. If you can avoid that, try to do the recap. I learned that kind of later on as I was over the road, that really is, it helps avoid some of the irritation, I would say, right? So you're not sitting around waiting for this for your hours to reset so you can start back driving. You know what I'm saying? So try to avoid that as much as you can. But other than that, I'm trying to think of some more topics I can really even speak about. So like I say, $500 to $1,000 is probably like the average, but I only probably saw 1,000 a few times throughout the months I was with Swift, and that was like some great weeks where I'm like, okay, I'm rolling. You know what I'm saying? I think the best load they ever gave me was like 1,500 miles, and I went from like one side of the country all the way to the other side of the country. I believe I was like in New York somewhere, and they sent me all the way to Washington. Something like that, right? And it was a great run. So I don't know how many miles. I think it was like 1,500 miles, though, if I'm not mistaken. Be on top of the dispatchers, on the planners. Don't accept every load they send you. You kind of got to fight for yourself, because if you over the road, you expect to get over the road kind of miles, and sometimes they don't. It's just not possible. They give you 150 miles here, 200 miles. So it's like kind of just playing with your clock. So if you can, try to speak up, and don't accept every single load that you get they send you, because you do have that option at Swift. So don't be afraid to decline some of them, and just let them know, like, oh, I'm looking for a little bit more miles if possible, and then they might give you this one, and then the next one might be a little bit better. So just keep that in mind. What's some essentials that you might need to have going into this? I'll say I'm gonna give 4. The first one for sure that you need to have going into this, if you thinking about going through a company like Swift, or that's the only one I can really think of. I know a lot of companies do this, but Swift was like one of the, and I think Prime, I saw Prime as well, but Prime has some different kind of things that I remember looking into. But yeah, if you're looking for a company and you don't want to necessarily come out of pocket and pay, and even if you just come out of pocket and paying and you got to go into trucking, I would say just 4 essential things that you need to have in place prior to coming in. And the number one thing I would say, I ain't gonna put them in order, but one of the things I will say that's like, I would say is vitally important, is having like a good support system, right? So whether you a single or you in a relationship, you married, however it go, make sure that you got a good support system in place. You know what I'm saying? If you a single young man or young woman, mom, dad, or, you know what I'm saying, if you got that type of relationship, or just friends, family, try to have that support system where you can call somebody up and, you know what I'm saying, just chop it up. Like, and I don't know if you ever noticed, like, people that, like, you might run into at these truck stops, or that just, like, very talkative. They want to speak, and they want to, and you wonder, like, damn, that motherfucker really got a lot to say. And it's like, it's because that's how lonely people get. Like, people be that lonely in the aspect where they ain't talked to nobody in weeks. And they catch one person, boy, they gonna talk your ear off. And I understand, because it's like, once you out here on the road and all you got is just, it's so much podcasts and music that you can use, eventually you're gonna need to talk to somebody. So you can get a good support system that can help you out mentally, physically, whatever, mentally, financially, spiritually, whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever the support that you may need, try to get that in place. Secondly, try to have some type of cushion to get you into trucking, right? I would say have some type of form of cushion to where you not just like, when y'all say we getting paid, like, you know what I'm saying? Because you're not getting paid coming in. I'm going to let y'all know that. Like, they tell you, yeah, you're going to get this much a week. You're not seeing that until you get your CDL, until you going into the first week of your training. You ain't going to see that money. Trust me. They can say whatever they want to say. They want to make sure you're going to get your CDL before they start paying you. They're not going to just, no. So, yeah, have you some cushion, have some bills paid. Don't go in, wait on that first check, because that first check gonna take a month or so for you even to actually see a check. And then when you see the check ain't nothing. So it's like, this is what I've been waiting for. And fortunately for me, I didn't have to go through that. I kind of already knew what I was getting myself into, so I did have some type of preparation. financially. So like I say, secondly, make sure you got that cushion. Third, patience. Come in with some patience, man. Don't try to rush the process. It's gonna take some time, man. Seriously, like the company I work for now, I'm actually doing way better financially. It's a very good environment. So that year that they tell you that's gonna take or more, you know what I'm saying? Some people, it took them a couple years, you know what I'm saying, to get a good paying job or whatever, right? And Swift, you can make some good money with them. I just feel like I just didn't get that experience. I don't know, because the state or the region that I was in, I just didn't get that feel that, well, it was like, okay, I can actually live off this, right? I didn't get that feeling, so I end up moving around. But like I say, just have that patience, and I never really bugged up or never really got upset. I kind of knew what I was getting myself into. I can't be mad at nobody else but myself, like, you know what I'm saying? So I wasn't upset about it. Another opportunity came across, and I took the opportunity. So yeah, just have patience, man. Come in every day and just understand what you're getting yourself into. So you got good patience, you'll be all right. And then the last thing I would say that's vitally, the most important, vitally essential, is having a good mindset coming into this. Right, trying to stay positive as long as you can, as much as you can. Just keeping your mind busy and not falling into. I'm trying to put it in the right way, because depression and all that stuff, that it is real, right? It is a real thing. Being depressed, being sad. Me personally, I done had some bad days. I ain't never wake up crying or going to sleep crying or nothing like that. And I do got a family, so it was like I did find myself a few times like just kind of missing home, right? So, but anytime I did ever feel like that, I always corrected myself. So it's like having a good mindset, man, is vitally important to even almost succeed. Because if you got your mind wrapped up at home, and I'm gonna tell y'all right now, if you coming in, you not single, or you got a little relationship or whatever, or you married, however it go, you gotta tell your significant other, you gotta chill. All right, you can't be calling me, snapping on me, or we getting into it while I'm over the road. Y'all like, especially to the spouses. So if the spouses, y'all hearing this message as well, man, you leave that man alone, for real, because there's people out here that be killing their damn self because they can't get back home to their girl or whatever. Girl might be cheating on them. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of things that go down. So I'm just keeping it a buck. Like, if you going in this, already understand that, like, hey, baby, I gotta go get this money, right? And I ain't gonna say the money, because it ain't gonna necessarily be a lot of money. So, but I'm going to chase a goal that I got accomplished. Cause I set out saying I'm finna do this and I want to get it done, right? So just understanding that, man, just keeping that first, and keeping that mindset was like, you only can control what you can control, man. Because when you get out here on this road, you're going to realize you can't control nothing. Everything is out of your hands. They going to give you the loads when they give you the loads. They going to unload you when they unload you. They going to load you when they feel like loading you. You're going to have to stop here when it's time to stop here. You only can drive this far. You know, it's so many things that you can't control. Drivers cutting you off. Like, you're going to get cut off 78 times a day. Get ready. You know what I'm saying? Truckers, they truck faster than yours. We call them the super truckers. Fuck you. You know what I'm saying? It's going to happen, man. So just keep that in mind. And you stay positive. I guarantee you that you won't have any issues. Don't get flustered. Don't get all upset, because that one moment you upset about this, it drags on to this. Now you trying to back, you trying to rush, you do this, boom, hit something. Oh my God, now it's the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? So it's like keeping a positive mindset, keeping that vision intact of what you got in this for, having your reason why. That's all a part of your mindset, and I guarantee you will succeed. You won't fail getting into this. It's a good industry to get into if you haven't went to college. You kind of in that stagnant mode, where you at a career or even a job, I would say. Because if you got a good career, I don't see you leaving your good career to come to this career, or just career hopping in general. So you got a job that you necessarily don't like, necessarily you like, all right, I think it's time for me to try something different. It's a perfect thing to get into, that you can try something different, man. Grabbing you a skill set and And eventually, maybe one day, if you had a tenacity to see it through, taking that skill set and making it your own, you know what I'm saying? So that's one of my goals. I feel like that's something I came in with that mindset, saving that money, stacking that bread. That's vitally important, man. So this gonna be an ongoing series, man. We're gonna keep dropping content. We're gonna keep dropping these videos every day. It's gonna be a new topic. I ain't gonna drop it every day, but for the most part, anytime that idea or something like that comes up, we're gonna drop it. Yeah, man. So if you stayed this long, man, go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We're gonna keep making content like this. We ain't gonna stop. We ain't gonna let up. Yeah, man. I appreciate y'all.